I want you to think about a parking garage for a second, properly, the way an architect would. Every single dimension in that building is a car dimension. The ceiling height is a car. The width of the bay is a car with the doors open. The grade of the ramp is what a car can climb. The spacing of the columns is how many cars fit between them. The turning radius at the corner is a car turning. Nothing in that building is a person dimension. Nothing. And that is not a criticism. It is just what it is. A parking garage is not a building for people. It is a shelf. It is a very large, very expensive shelf that you are allowed to walk on because there is no other way to get your object off it. You are not the occupant. You are a delivery mechanism for the occupant, and the occupant is your car. Now hold that thought, because there is a second thing, and this one is specific to California. California has the strictest energy code in the country. And one of the things that code does, sensibly, is stop buildings burning electricity lighting up empty space. So in a lot of newer garages in this state, the lighting is on occupancy sensors. When nobody is in a zone, the light drops down. When something moves, it comes up, which is genuinely good policy. It saves an enormous amount of power. It also means that as you walk to your car, the light comes up in front of you and goes down behind you. You are carrying a small bubble of light through a dark building. You cannot see anything outside the bubble, and anything outside the bubble can see you perfectly, because you are the brightest thing in there. Think about what that actually does to your eyes. A human eye takes a long time to adjust from bright to dark, and almost no time to adjust from dark to bright. So the person standing in the dark part of the garage has already adjusted. They can see everything. You, walking through your bubble, have eyes that are permanently set to bright, and they never get the chance to adapt, because the light keeps following you. That is not a flaw in the system. That is the system working exactly as designed. It was designed to save power. Nobody was being careless. It is just that the thing the code was solving for was electricity, and the thing you are solving for is not. Today we are counting down 10 kinds of California garage that security professionals will tell you to be most awake in after dark. 10 down to 1. And again, this is not about who is in these places. This is about concrete, ramps, ceiling height, signal, and light. It is about a building type that was drawn for objects and has people in it by accident. Number 1 is the one that nobody expects, and it is the one where all of it stacks at once. Let us start. We start easy, because the mall garage is the friendliest one on this list, and it still has the same bones. Its problem is time. A mall garage at 4 in the afternoon is one of the safest places you can be. It is full, it is busy, there are families, there is noise, there are eyes everywhere. The same structure at 9:40, 20 minutes after the stores close, is a different building. Not a bit different, completely different. It empties in about a quarter of an hour, and it empties from the outside in, which means the last cars are the ones deep inside on the upper levels. And your brain does not update. You parked in a busy place, you come back to an empty one, running on a memory of the busy version. The tell: if you park somewhere that will empty, park where the empty version is fine, not where the full version is convenient. Near the exit, near the elevator, in the light. The extra 90 seconds of walking at 4 in the afternoon is the whole trade. Everything I just said about the mall, but violent. A stadium garage does not empty over 15 minutes. It goes from 20,000 people to 0 in about 40 minutes, and then it stays at 0. But here is the thing that actually matters, and it is not the emptying. It is that a stadium garage is the only one on this list where nobody knows where they parked. Everybody is a visitor. Everybody arrived excited and in a hurry, 3 hours ago, in daylight, and now it is dark, and they are walking level to level with their head up, hitting the key fob. That is the single most distracted a human being gets in a garage, and it is a distraction that lasts minutes rather than seconds. The tell: photograph the level and bay number the moment you park. Every time. It is 2 seconds and it removes the entire failure mode. You never have to wander. California has a lot of these, and they are structurally strange, because they are usually low, open, and split into small decks that follow the land. Two things happen. Open-air structures do not have interior lighting the way a sealed garage does. They rely partly on the sky, and the sky, after dark, contributes nothing. So a deck that felt bright and airy at 6 in the evening is a genuinely dark slab of concrete at 9. The second is the coast, and it is the same problem Corpus Christi has with fuel stations. Salt air destroys lighting. Housings corrode. Lenses fog. A fixture that is on is not necessarily a fixture that is working. The tell: count dead lamps as you walk in. Not to be paranoid, just to know. 3 dead fixtures on your level tells you more about that structure than any sign on the wall. The campus garage is the only one on this list where the population is genuinely lovely, and it still does not help. Its problem is schedule. A campus garage has a rhythm that is almost musical, absolutely rammed between classes, absolutely dead for the 50 minutes in between, not gradually, instantly. So the difference between a full building and an empty one is not the hour. It is whether you happen to arrive at 11:50 or 12:05. And the other thing is that campus garages are usually big, cheap, and old, because they were built when land was cheap and they have never been the priority. Low ceilings, long spans, ramps you cannot see up. The tell. On a campus, the safe variable is not the time of night. It is the bell. If you are walking to your car mid-class rather than between classes, you are in an empty building regardless of what your watch says. This is the transit structure at the edge of the system, and it has a property nothing else on this list has. Everybody who parks there is gone for the entire day. Not an hour, the whole day. It fills at 7 in the morning and it does not move again until the evening. Which means a park and ride is, for 11 hours, a large structure full of unattended vehicles and no people whatsoever. That is not a garage. That is a warehouse. And when it does refill, it refills in waves, off trains. So it goes from empty to 100 people to empty again, on a timetable that is published on the internet. The tell. If you come back off a late train and you are the only one who got off, you are walking into the warehouse version. Wait for the next train, walk with the next group, or park where the structure meets the street rather than deep in it. The hotel structure is interesting because of a mismatch. The hotel itself has a front desk, cameras, staff, a lobby, someone awake at 4 in the morning. It is one of the most monitored buildings in any town. The garage attached to it, very often, has almost none of that. It is a separate structure, sometimes a separate company, and the hotel's security is about the hotel. And the people using it are all in the one state of mind that garages punish. They are arriving somewhere they have never been, at night, with luggage, both hands full. Attention on a phone with a booking on it. The tell. Hands. If both of your hands are full, you have taken yourself out of the situation entirely. 2 trips is fine. Nobody is watching. 2 trips is genuinely fine. This is the park and ride problem multiplied by a week. A car in long term is not unattended for hours. It is unattended for days. And the owner is definitionally somewhere else entirely. Not in the next building, not in the city, in another state. The structure is also enormous, which sounds neutral and is not. Enormous means the walk is long. It means the levels are identical. It means the signage is doing more work than signage can do. It means people get lost, and being lost is the state we keep coming back to. And the return leg is the worst version of any of this. You land at 11:40 at night after 5 hours in a metal tube. You are exhausted. You have bags. You have not been in this building for 9 days, and you have to remember where you left something. The tell. Same as the stadium. And it matters more here. Photograph the sign. Level, color, zone, bay. On the way out, before you get on the shuttle, when you are fresh. Your tired self in 9 days will thank you. Now we are getting into the ones professionals actually talk about. A downtown office garage has a hard shape to its day. It fills at 8, it empties at 6, and what is left after 7 is not a random sample. It is the people working late, which means the building above you is switching off floor by floor while you are still in it. Security in an office tower is about the tower. Once you are in the garage, you are frequently in a different building, with different staffing, and sometimes no staffing at all. Then add the California lighting thing from the top of this video, and add the other thing about concrete. Reinforced concrete is steel bar in a dense mineral slab, and it is genuinely excellent at stopping a radio signal. That is not a conspiracy, it is physics. 3 levels down in a concrete structure, your phone is a torch and a clock and nothing else. No call, no map, no message. That is the part people do not think about. You cannot call for help, not because nobody would come, because the call will not leave the building. The tell. Look at your bars before you walk, not after. If you have no signal, then whatever you are about to do it in a way that does not require a phone. And if you work late regularly, know which level gets signal. There always is one, usually the top. This one is number 2 because of the door. Apartment garages are secured, gate, fob, roll shutter, code, and that is real security. It works. Its weakness is that it is a single yes or no. The gate is either closed, which is total, or open, which is nothing. And a vehicle gate takes 15 to 20 seconds to close. So the entire security of the building comes down to what happens in those 15 seconds, several hundred times a day, forever. And the thing that makes it number 2, rather than something further down the list, is not the gate. It is what the residents believe about the gate. In a secured garage, people leave cars unlocked. They leave the door to the lobby propped for a delivery. They leave bikes out. They do not look up when they walk. Everybody in there has outsourced their attention to a piece of hardware, in exactly the same way the gated community in Florida outsourced it to a wall. The tell, watch your gate close. Actually watch it, and do not hold it for anybody, ever, and do not feel bad about that. Whoever it is has a fob, or they have a phone and a friend upstairs who has one. And here is number one, and it is not the one anybody guesses. The hospital garage is where every single thing in this video stacks up at once, and it does it around the clock. Start with the hours. A hospital is the only building on this list that genuinely never closes. Shift change is at 3 in the morning, and at 3 in the morning staff are walking to their cars, alone, in a structure that has been dark for hours. There is no closing time to shelter behind. There is no busy period to plan around. Every hour is somebody's late night. Then the emotional state, which is the part nobody talks about, and it is the whole answer. Nobody is at a hospital for a nice reason. Everybody in that garage is either exhausted from a 12-hour shift, or they have just had the worst conversation of their life, or they are about to. That is the population. And situational awareness is not a skill, it is a resource. It is attention, and attention is the first thing that goes when you are frightened, or shattered, or crying. You cannot ask somebody who has just come out of a hospital at midnight to read sightlines. They physically do not have it to give. This is the part I want you to actually take away, because it is bigger than garages. Every safety tip anybody has ever given you assumes you have attention available to spend. Look around. Check your exits. Notice the dark corner. All of that is real, and all of it is free. And none of it is free when you have just been told something terrible. Which means the only defense that works in a hospital garage is a defense you set up before you needed it. A decision made in advance, by a version of you who was fine. That is what an escort is. That is what a friend driving is. It is not help, it is attention, borrowed from somebody who still has some. Then the structure. Hospital garages are huge. They are old, they are attached by long connecting bridges and tunnels, and the hospital's security operation is about the hospital. That is where the people are. That is where the incidents are. The garage is a slab out the back with a camera on the ramp, and the concrete does what concrete does. No signal. So you have a structure that is dark, unreadable, unstaffed, signal dead, open 24 hours, and it is full, exclusively, of people who have nothing left. That is why it is number one, not because the building is worse. Every other garage on this list is designed just as badly. It is number one because it is the only one where the building is at its worst, and the human being is at their worst, at the same moment, every night, by design. The tell. If you work at a hospital, you already know this, and the answer is not a tip, it is the escort. Use it. Every time. It exists because your employer knows exactly what I just said. And if you are visiting somebody, and it has been a bad day, that is precisely the night to let somebody else drive you. Not because you cannot handle it, because you should not have to. Everything in this video collapses into 4 things, and none of them take any effort. Photograph your bay the moment you park. 2 seconds kills the wandering. Check your signal before you walk, not while you need it. Keep one hand free, always. 2 trips is fine.